and decreasing questions. Okay. So good afternoon. We are discussing about the problems from increasing and decreasing functions. A function f of x is said to be increasing if Atul.
F dash of x is greater than 0.
If f dash of x is greater than 0. And it is said to be decreasing if f dash of x is less than 0. Isn't it? Now take your textbook. Or if you take your textbook, page number 300 and, sorry, not page number 300. Exercise. What is the page number, children, in your textbook? There is exercise 6.2. What is the page? Give the page number, Achyut.
305.
So 305. Okay. Note down these questions as important 1 mark question. Important 1 mark question. 13th one and 14th one are important 1 mark question. 13th one and 14th one are important 1 mark question. Okay, let us discuss that 2 questions now. Look at the question given here. Look at here, the increasing, decreasing question. Look, read the 13th one. On which of the following intervals the function f of x is equal to x raised to 100 plus sin x minus 1 is strictly decreasing? And 4 options are given. Like this you will get the questions. Is it clear? Increasing, decreasing, don't expect it will be asked for 3 mark, 4 mark. No, here look at here, this 4 options are given. 4. Okay, so like this the question will be asked. So look at the question. On which of the following intervals is the function f of x is equal to? So whenever you are given the answers like this, children, f of x raised to 100 plus sin x minus 1 is strictly decreasing and intervals are given. Okay, how will you do this? Okay, the thing is, children, listen, if it is MCQ, if this question is asked for MCQ, how you prepare for the entrance exam? That is the skill you have to develop. No need to write all the steps elaborately, isn't it? When you prepare for the entrance exam, that same skill only here also you have to do. If you write these lengthy steps, we will not be able to answer the other questions. Here the 4 options are given, isn't it? In this question, which are the 4 options given? We are given with the 4 options, minus 1, 1, B is 0, 1, C is the interval pi by 2 to pi, and D is the interval 0, pi by 2. So we are given with the options. What you can do, you find out f dash of x. What is f dash of x? 100 x raised to 99 plus cos x, isn't it? You select the values in between this and you check in which case you will get f dash of x is negative. We have to prove f dash of x is decreasing, isn't it? Negative. So instead of solving this, we will not be able to solve this. What you can do? You select a value here and substitute it. Will it be positive or negative? Suppose I put 0. Suppose we put 0 here. What you will get? When you put x is 0, what about the sign of f dash of x? It is positive, isn't it? So, first case we can't take. Now look at the next case from the interval 0 to 1. In the interval 0 to 1, if you take a value, 0 to 1, it is it positive or negative? You take a value between 0 and 1, 0.1. Substitute here and check whether will it be positive or negative. Is it positive or negative? Yes, what is the answer? Okay, for the 1 mark question, no need to move on that much elaborately, children. Listen, 1 second, listen. You take a value in this interval. I'm taking 0. When you put 0, what you will get? It is 0 plus cos 0. Cos 0 is 1, positive. It is greater than 0. Therefore, this interval is not possible. Now you take the next interval, 0, 1. Between 0 and 1, we can take the value 0.5. We can consider the value 0.5. Substitute it. 0.5 is a positive number. When we take the power 99, it will be again positive. Cos 0.5 is also positive. So in the second case also, we will get it is positive, isn't it? Now look at the third case, pi by 2 to pi. Pi by 2 to pi means which quadrant? Pi by 2 to pi. Pi by 2 to pi means which quadrant? Atul. In which quadrant? Pi by 2 to pi. Which is the quadrant? Is it second one, or third one, or fourth one, or first one? Yes, Dia? Pi by 2 to pi means which? Second quadrant. In second quadrant, cos is negative, isn't it? Cos will be negative. Suppose I am substituting the value here. X is pi by 2. Pi by 2 means we know that it is in degree. Okay, this is 90 degree, this is 180. If you substitute some value, this one will be always positive. Is or no? Cos 100 x raised to 99 will be positive. This one, cos x will be negative. And what is the minimum value you will get there? It will be minus 1. You will be getting the value minus 1. So this is a big number. From the big number, if you subtract minus 1, the quantity number will be always positive. Is it clear? Is it okay, Gauri? Punya? Huh? If I take the value pi by 2 to pi, while we are substituting the value of pi in angles, we consider as degrees. Otherwise, what is the value of pi? Usually, what is the value of pi? Yes, the value of pi is, yes, Punya. Yes, 22 by 7. I'm not able to, I can't hear. 1 second. 90, 180, like that we take. So now look at here, pi by 2 to pi means it is in the second quadrant. In second quadrant, we know that cos is negative. Isn't it? Cos is negative. And this one, if you put pi as 3.14, what you will get? 100 into 3.14 raised to 99 means will you be getting a very big number? Is that no? You'll be getting a big number. And what is the minimum value you will get for cos x? It is minus 1. So 100 raised to this minus 1 means, is it a positive quantity or negative quantity? Shivani, 100 minus 1. I am not taking this number. So 100 minus 1. Is it positive or negative? Positive. So in this case also it is positive. Same way, if you take the first quadrant, 0 to 90, it is positive, isn't it? In the first quadrant, all the trigonometric ratios are positive. So here, the answer is, none of these is the answer. In all the intervals, it is positive. We are not getting a decreasing interval. Is it clear? So here, in all the intervals, it is increasing. We are not getting an interval with decreasing. Okay? Now look at the next one. Read the next question, 14th one. Find the least value of a for which f of x is equal to. Find the least value of a for which f of x is equal to x square plus ax plus 1 is strictly increasing. It is given the function is strictly increasing in the interval 1, 2. It is strictly increasing in the interval 1, 2. Find the least value in which it is increasing. We want to find the least. What is meant by least? The minimum value. smallest value for a we have to consider. So find out f dash of x. F dash of x is 2x plus a. Now it is given f of x is increasing. F of x is increasing means f dash of x is positive, isn't it? F dash of x will be greater than 0. Okay? F dash of x is greater than 0. That means 2x plus a is greater than 0. But we want the least value of a. What is the minimum value of a? How to find that minimum value of a? How will you find? For that, look at here. It is increasing in the interval 1 to 2. So, it is increasing in the interval 1 to 2 means x takes values between 1 and 2. 1 is less than x, less than 2. Is it correct? X takes values between 1 and 2. Is it correct? It is given, it is increasing in the interval 1 to 2. Now, I want to make it in the form 2x plus a. I want to make it in the form 2x plus a. So, I am multiplying this by 2. 2 is less than 2x less than 4. You multiply throughout by 2. You multiply throughout by 2. Okay. Now you add here 2 plus a is less than 2x plus a, which is less than 4 plus a. We are adding a because I want to make it in this form. 2x plus a is greater than 0. Okay, so we get 2 plus a is less than, what is 2x plus a? It is f dash of x, which is less than 4 plus a. So f dash of x lies between 2 plus a and a plus 4. F dash of x lies between 2 plus a and 4 plus a. Is it correct? Is it correct, children? This is what we get as f dash of x. Here given x value lies between 1 and 2. X value lies between 1 and 2. What we are doing here? We want to write it in the form 2x plus a. We want to write it in the form 2x plus a. We multiply throughout by 2. So when you multiply by 2, 2 is less than 2x less than 4. Then we add a. When we add a, 2 plus a is less than 2x plus a, which is less than 4 plus a. But what is 2x plus a? It is our f dash of x. So we get f dash of x. F dash of x lies between 2 plus a and 4 plus a. Okay, f dash of x is lies between 2 plus a and 4 plus a. Now apply the condition. It is given f dash of x is greater than 0, isn't it? So this value 2 plus a must be greater than 0. So a is greater than minus 2. This is the minimum value we are getting for f dash of x. F dash of x takes the minimum value 2 plus a and the maximum value is 4 plus a. F dash of x is greater than 0 means a plus 2 is greater than 0. So we get a is greater than minus 2. Okay, when you compare this, f dash of x is greater than 0. So, and f dash of x lies between these two. When you compare this, it should be greater than 0 and it should be greater than a plus 2. That means a must be greater than minus 2. Therefore, the least value is minus 2. The least value, minimum value is minus 2. The least value is minus 2. Okay, try this question again, then only you'll be able to find how to find the minimum least. Least value means this minimum value. Okay. Now write the next question, children. Write the next one. 16th question. 16th question. Srihari, read the question, Srihari. 16th one.
Prove that the function f is given by f of x equal to log sin x is increasing on 0 to pi by 2 and decreasing on pi by 2 to pi.
Prove that the function f of x is equal to log sin x is strictly increasing on 0, comma pi by 2 and strictly decreasing on pi by 2, comma pi. So you take the function, consider the function. What is the function given here? F of x is, the function f of x is log sin x. Find out f dash of x. What is f dash of x? Shivani, try to give f dash of x. Yes, Shivani. What is the derivative of log x?
1 by x.
1 by x. So what is the derivative of log sin x?
1 by sin x.
Yes, good, good. 1 by sin x into, okay, that sin x we should differentiate. What is the derivative of sin x, Emmanuel?
Cos x no.
Cos x. So we get this as cos x by sin x, isn't it? Cos by sin is cot x. So f dash of x is cot x. Now look at the first interval. Read the question. What is given in the question? You have to prove it is strictly increasing in the interval 0 to pi by 2. So you take the first quadrant. In the quadrant 0 to pi by 2 in the first interval, what is the sign of f dash of x? In the first quadrant, what we know? All the trigonometric functions are positive, isn't it? So f dash of x will be positive. So f of x is increasing in the interval 0 to pi by 2. Now you take the next interval. In the interval pi by 2 to pi. Pi by 2 to pi means second quadrant. Second quadrant, what about the sign of f dash of x? Is it positive or negative? What is the sign of f dash of x, Michael? In the second quadrant, pi by 2 to pi. What is the sign? On here. F dash of x. In the second quadrant, which one is positive? Dia. It is negative, isn't it? Sine and cosec will be positive. So f dash of x will be negative. So f of x will be is a decreasing function in the interval pi by 2 to pi. Okay, hence we have proved the result. Okay, hence we have proved the result. Now, listen children, now my question is, what can you say about the function in the interval 0 to pi by 2? Will it be increasing or decreasing? Whether the function is increasing in the interval 0 to pi or decreasing. Okay, suppose the question is given like this, in the interval 0 to pi. Is it increasing or decreasing? What is the answer? Nandana?
Neither, no.
Yes, neither. Okay, it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Why? In one part it is increasing, in the other part it is decreasing. So if you take the interval as a whole, we can't say anything. We can say it is neither increasing nor decreasing. We can't say it completely. Okay, with this almost our increasing, decreasing problems are over. We are going to start with the next topic, next one, that is maxima, minima. Write the heading, maximum, minima of a function. Write the next topic. Maximum, minima. Maxima, minima. Okay. So we have seen whenever you are given a function, we can represent the function graphically. We can represent the function graphically. For example, suppose we are drawing the curve, sine curve. When we draw the sine curve, it goes on like this, isn't it? Then it comes like this. It goes like that. So we know, listen children, listen, we can write the points afterwards, first listen. So here, the function is increasing. Look at the function. It is increasing. It is increasing, and what happens? It reaches the maximum value. Is that not? The function, if you look into the graph, this is increasing here. Once the value is going on increasing, x is increasing, f of x is also increasing. But after reaching a maximum value, what happened? What happened here? X value is increasing. Yes, Gauri. It is decreasing, isn't it? So, the function is changing its, okay, initially it is increasing, then it comes decreasing. So, when it changes from increasing to decreasing, okay, at the point, there is a turning point. Okay, there is a turning point. Here you can find one turning point. Look at here again, the value is going on decreasing. Y value is decreasing, decreasing. And what happens once it reaches some value over here? Again, there is a turning point. It's again changing its direction. It starts increasing. Okay. So here it is increasing. It reaches a value there, and then it is changing its direction. Again, the function is going on decreasing, and then what happens? From here, it starts increasing. So again, there is a change happening in a point. Okay, so a function is increasing. So when going on increasing, it reaches a maximum value. Once it gets the maximum value, it will turn the direction. It is changing the direction. Okay, once again changing its direction and again coming down, the value is going on decreasing. Then it takes a minimum value. When it changes its direction, it takes a minimum value. Again, a turning point is there. Now what happens? Again, it starts increasing. It is going on increasing. In here you can find another maximum. Okay, so for the given function, you may have more than one maxima minima. So this one we call it as local maxima. This is the maximum within this region. This is the maximum, this is the minimum within this interval. So that's why we call this as local maximum and local minimum. Is it clear? It is not full function that, okay, within the specified interval, which is the local maximum, we will have some local minimum. So now is the concept clear? What is meant by maxima, minima and all, is it okay? Whenever there is a turning point, whenever a graph is going on, and when a function is increasing, reaches a peak value, and then it turns down, we'll be getting a maximum. Similarly, the function is going on decreasing, then it takes a turning point, means there will be getting a point of local minima. Okay? That is what we call it as local maximum and local minimum. For finding this local maxima and minima, there are two ways. Okay? First, listen to it, children. Tomorrow we will be writing the notes. Now, for the time being, first you understand how we are finding this. That is what important. Because it's an important one. Maxima, minima, it's a very important part. 5-mark questions are asked. Are you here? Case study questions will be there. Okay. So, for finding maxima, minima, there are two maxima, minima. There are two tests are there. The first one we call it as first derivative test. First derivative test. And the other one is second derivative test. First derivative test and second derivative test. Two tests are there for finding the maxima minima. The common thing we use will be the second derivative test. We use second derivative test. Okay. In first, we'll be learning this. We learn what is the definition. Only we will learn in first derivative. But here, throughout this year, that is in 12th standard, we will be solving all the problems based on second derivative. We'll be solving the problems based on second derivative. Okay, there are two tests to check whether the function is increasing or decreasing. Okay, so how to find it? So in first derivative test, we differentiate the given function only once. We find f dash of x. We find f dash of x. Only one time only we will differentiate. Okay. But in second derivative test, what we will do? Okay. In second derivative test, we find f dash of x. We find out f double dash of x. Listen, children. Okay. Okay. Let us now first concentrate on second derivative test. We find f dash of x and we find f double dash of x. Then equate f dash of x to 0. Equate first order derivative to 0. Equate first order derivative to 0 and solve for x. You solve it. You solve that equation. Equate f dash of x to 0 and solve for x. Once we solve this, we will be getting the values of x, isn't it? Now substitute this in f double dash. Substitute x in f double dash. Where we are substituting here? We substitute in f double dash of x. Given the function f of x, we find f dash of x, we find f double dash of x. Equate f dash of x to 0 and solve for x. Okay, we solve it. Once we solve, we will get some values. Sometimes we get one value or sometimes we get more than one value. Substitute that value in f double dash of x. If f double dash of x is positive, if f double dash of x is positive, that is greater than 0, it is a point of local minima. Note it? Negative means it is a point of minima. That is the thing important. Sorry, positive means it is a point of minima. And if f double dash of x is negative, if it is negative, we write it is a point of local maxima. It is a point of local maxima. Okay. So after solving this for x, substitute this value in f double dash. Once we substitute this in f double dash, if the value or sign of f dash of x is positive, it is minima. Okay. Positive means minima. Okay. Usually we do the mistake. Positive means you will take maximum. It is wrong. Positive means it is minimum. Negative means it is a point of maxima. Circle it. Underline it. Okay. So, we got the values at which the local maxima and local minimum exist. Now, the final step. Substitute x in f of x. Substitute x in f of x and find what is the local maximum and local minimum. Substitute x in f of x and find what is the local maximum and local minimum. Okay. Okay, children, first, okay, listen. Suppose we are given a function, we can find the derivative. We can find the derivative. And using these derivatives, we can find out the maximum value and minimum value of the function. Okay, so there are two methods. In first derivative test, we differentiate only once. We differentiate that only once. But in second derivative, we differentiate it twice. We find f dash of x and we find f double dash of x. After finding these two derivatives, equate first order derivative to 0, f dash of x to 0. Then you solve for x. After solving this equation, okay, we will get 2 or 3 values of x. Substitute this in f double dash. If f double dash of x is greater than 0, it is a point of local minima. If it is negative, it is a point of local maximum. So we get at which point we will get maximum, at which point we will get minimum. Once you get this x value, we want to find out the corresponding y. Y is equal to f of x, isn't it? So substitute in f of x. So we will get what is the local maximum and local minimum. Is it okay? Second derivative test is very important. Is it clear, children? One of you give me the steps. How will you find out the local maximum and minimum using second derivative test? Naureen?
First find f dash of x.
Hmm.
Then f double dash of x.
Hmm.
And equate f dash of x to 0 and solve for x.
Hmm.
And then substitute x in f double dash of x. And if it is greater than 0, then it is a point of local minima, and less than 0, then it is a point of local maxima.
Hmm.
And then substitute x in f dash of x and find
F of x. Okay, substitute in f of x. Finally, we will be substituting in f of x to get the local maximum and local minimum. Is the steps okay, children? Okay. Yes, Achut.
Can you show the last step?
Okay, so you copy this, children. I'll mark the attendance. Now, listen, children. See, in some cases, we no need to find the derivative. Instead of finding the derivative, by using the properties of functions, instead of finding derivatives, okay, I'm not going to find the derivative. Instead of finding the derivatives, we can find maxima, minima using the property, using the domain values, codomain values. For example, listen, that's why we have learned when I say that in graph part in 11th standard is very important. Okay, just recall the function, modulus x. Recall the graph of the function modulus x. What is the maximum value and what is the minimum value? Modulus x. What about the graph of mod x? Mod x. Mod x graph is?
V-shape.
Yes, it is a V-shaped curve, isn't it? So what is the maximum value and what is the minimum value? So V shape, this is the graph of y is equal to mod x. So what is the maximum value of this function? What is the minimum value? Here and all, no need to differentiate. By using the property of the function, we can tell which is the maximum, which is the minimum. What is the maximum value here? Look at here, as x increases, y value is also going on increasing, isn't it? So what we can say here, the maximum value is not defined. What about the minimum value? What is the minimum value? Yes, it is 0. Because it takes the minimum value here. From the graph we can see. Okay, similarly, the next standard function, f of x is equal to x square. What is the minimum value and what is the maximum value? X square. For the function f of x is equal to x square, where x belongs to R. X can take any real number. Then, what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value? What about the graph of x square? Achut, graph of x square is What about the graph of x square? Yes, Gayatri. X square, look at the degree.
Parabola.
Parabola, it is a parabola, isn't it? Is it open upward or open downward? Is it it is open upwards. How we understand it is open upward?
It is positive.
A is positive. Okay, what is the general form? What is the general form of a quadratic? Ax square plus bx plus c. It is a parabola. Okay, and it's a parabola. Second degree equation means it is a parabola and it is open upward when a is greater than 0. Look at the coefficient of x square is positive means it is open upward, or if it is downward and a is less than 0. Okay, so now imagine this graph f of x is x square. What is the maximum and what is the minimum value? So you'll be getting a parabola like this. Instead of v, here you have u. What is the maximum? What is the minimum? Aryan. Aryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Minimum value and maximum value.
Minimum 0.
Yes, minimum value is 0 and maximum value is
Not defined.
not defined. Okay, is it clear, children? Is it okay? Okay, these are the graphs, some standard functions we have learned last year. These are the graphs we have learned last year. Important graphs. Okay, quadratic. For a quadratic polynomial, the graph is a parabola, and that parabola is open upward if a is positive and it is open downward if it is negative. So for the function f of x is equal to x square, the minimum value is 0 and maximum value is not defined. Okay, so in the next class, go through all these definitions and come. That important points, how to find out the local maximum, local minimum, second derivative test. Learn it well and come. Okay, thank you.